What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the Pop Culture Corner. It is Wednesday, and you know what that means. It is a panel day. I've assembled the round table of nerds, and we're gonna get down, dirty, and righteous. I don't know about the dirty part, but the other ones, yeah. But before we do that, guys, make sure to smash that like button, share the show across social media, and get us out there, huh? Do your fucking job. Just kidding. I love you. No, but seriously, subscribe to the channel or I'm going to kill myself. No. So anyway, we have a lot going on, in the future. This Sunday, I'll be live with the director Tom Patton, who directed Chad Michael Collins' recent film Assailant. I'm actually in talks with the guy who voices Khonshu in MoonKnight to come on. So I'm talking to his agent right now. So that should be interesting. And that would be really fun. We're also hosting a Comic-Con panel at Springfield this July, and we'll be interviewing guests for that. So definitely, if you're in the Massachusetts area or want to fly in, come on and say hello. With that being said, let's assemble the group of panelists. What's going on, gentlemen?
Oh, hi.
Can everyone hear me okay?
No.
Yeah.
All right, just checking. All right, now what's going on, boys? So to my
give me 2 seconds.
To my left, we have Mr. Phillip Barker. How we doing, sir?
I'm good, man. Thanks for having me on. It's been a long time since we've last been on a stream together.
That's what I was saying. That's why I reached out. I was like, that unfiltered guy, I really like him, and I want to see him again.
You're one of the few.
as far as the next one to our left, Nightwing. Him and I really don't get along. I kind of hate him.
We have drama behind the scenes. Obviously,
Yeah.
we talk massive shit about each other. Obviously, I hate your guts.
Yeah. We hate each other, basically.
I make like 20 different videos about you, like Geeks and Gamers do every single day. Just how much I hate you.
And then down below, Mr. Jeffrey Warfield. How we doing, my friend?
Doing good, man.
Yeah, you see Morbius, you see Sonic.
Yep, I really do like them, especially Morbius. I don't really get it. Yeah, I really did enjoy Morbius.
Good. I'll get your thoughts on that later. I think TW is still, if I assume
I
correctly.
can still say hello. I'm just kind of adjusting levels and things here.
Okay.
You fucking moron! You are a fucking human piece of shit and a disgrace!
That's how I
Yeah.
felt watching the umpire at the Blue Jays Rays game, Oakland game the other day.
No,
Oh my gosh, it was
yeah. Oh my God! So, quick little banter before we begin the show. The marathon, the Boston Marathon. Obviously, everybody knows what the Boston Marathon is. It took place on Monday, and walking through, because I work in that area. I work on Newbury Street, where the finish line is, and that's where the bombs went off. So my bag got checked around 4 to 5 different times, and then there was just so many people, and I just want to say congratulations to everyone who ran and finished, and those who even didn't, finish. So you're 26.2 miles. I mean, that's and when I was watching people cross the line, like they're walking around, they're like, drinking a little bit of water, hugging their families. I'm like, how are you standing? What? I can't even walk up the stairs without having to bend over a little bit.
That's how I felt this morning. I'm like, nope, ow.
But yeah, no. Congratulations, and to those who lost their lives on the marathon day, we remember. Kicking off the show, guys. Thor debuted its teaser trailer. Finally, and I think a lot of us were waiting for something to do with Thor Love and Thunder because we knew the production was over. We knew that it's coming. We knew that they had something ready, and it was just a matter of time. Now, I had heard crackling through the rumor mill, that the full-length trailer was going to play ahead of Doctor Strange or at the end of Doctor Strange, kind of like with Spider-Man. However, that's still a possibility. We only got the teaser. So what did you guys think about the teaser? Thor's one of those characters that I've been saying. He's kind of been hit or miss. For the most part, we love him as a character. People love Thor, like in the Avengers movies, but his solos up until Ragnarok, and even Ragnarok, people loved it or hated it. They think that the character has not been utilized correctly in the MCU. I remember the days there where Patty Jenkins was about to direct Thor.
Good old
Dark
days.
World.
Yeah, the Dark World.
Wow.
Oh my God.
When was this?
His character's been pretty up and down.
Chris.
Hey, gents. What's up, Christopher Evans? Make sure to I forgot to, because I took a real long sabbatical. It's gonna take a while to get that consistency back, which sucks.
Are you constipated?
No, with like viewers. Right?
Oh,
okay.
You
You gotta be more consistent, and Wednesdays. So
I'm
anyway,
gonna whip you into shape. I'm gonna message you and ask you to work out. That's what I'm gonna
do.
do.
No, but what did you guys think of the trailer? I mean, this is
I thought it was pretty interesting. Honestly, like I like the first Thor movie. The second one's like one of the worst MCU movies. Thor Ragnarok is all right. It's a little overrated by how people actually talk about it, but it's an all right movie. It was funny. The trailer pretty much gave you exactly what you were expecting. He was gonna go through that journey because to be fair, Thor's actually had a pretty good arc in the MCU. The only reason why it gets like downplayed is because like every single time he does have that emotional moment, it gets downplayed with jokes. So at this point now in Thor Love and Thunder, we see him kind of like just giving up, and he's like, okay, now I'm gonna want to be a hero again. So we know the Guardians are gonna have an impact on his character, but they're gonna leave anyway because they have their own movie to go to. So they're gonna leave. And then the only thing that people really hated was the whole Jane Foster Thor thing, which we already knew about years ago that she would become Thor. I just didn't know what the whole problem was. And it's not like if she's going to be a character that's going to be intertwining with his to make his character better, then I think it's a fine thing.
Well, I think a lot of people were put off when Natalie Portman exited the MCU because of what happened. And that, they started something in that first Thor movie that was going to continue that arc and eventually probably get to where we are now, but with a lot more fleshed out, right? Like we would have been more attached to Jane by now had, she not just be an off-screen mention like in Age of Ultron. Like, and then again after that when he says that they broke up, I Natalie left on a weird terms, but a lot of people are I don't know. You got the geeks and gamers and those guys, the MCU guys that are using this as fuel to their fire, like
which is completely inaccurate.
Yeah, they're
they're
bringing in women.
If you look at the MCU stuff they have just coming out, I counted there were 6 female projects: Miss Marvel, Black Widow, WandaVision. You also have the Marvel sequel and She-Hulk. Five women-led projects, right? Or I get the Harkness show. That's the 6th one.
Yeah, the Eternal female too.
I don't really count one that's a
Look at me. I got you, bro.
Oh yeah. I don't really count the one that's a team up like Ant-Man and the Wasp or like something like a girl teaming up with the guy, like a solo female led thing. There's only like 6 of them. If you count the male stuff, there's like 14 male projects. It's literally just inaccurate to say it's an MCU when most things we've gotten have just been male related. Since MCU started it, we literally just got the MCU only has 2 female superhero movies even right now, Captain Marvel and Black Widow. Out of the 27 movies they're only gonna have 2 female movies, and people are crying about MCU. It's just inaccurate. It's just literally wrong, just based off what we've seen so far. I'm not trying to come off aggressive.
Well, how do you like? So I mean, so it starts off with him saying, "I use these hands, for battle and now for peace." Obviously, what the start of the film is Thor stepping back, and eventually he's going to be drawn back in. By the way, no sight of gore anywhere in that trailer. At least I didn't see. Right? Yeah. You guys didn't see gore, correct?
No sign.
Not that I can think of.
Which I'm happy about because I do think they're still working on his look because of that leaked photo of what I don't know. There was something that leaked that
I always kind of wonder. I wonder if that leak was a legitimate, was an actual toy and an actual. No, it's I was wondering if it was an actual toy and an actual thing, or if it was just one of those things that was put out there, those kind of manufactured leaks by the company to kind of determine where the leaks are springing from. Because I always have that. I always have that tinfoil hat theory about not just Disney, but just companies in general, not just wanting to do it for the purpose of marketing and creating discussion, but also genuinely determining where leaks are springing from so that they can be siphoned, they can be cordoned off, or whatever the appropriate term would be.
I remember when that set photo of him actually wound up on Entertainment Tonight. There were 2 photos of Christian Bale, and he's in the God Butcher garb. He's painted all white, and there's a blue screen behind him. It made it on EW. I remember that.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because really for me, I always go back to actually very recently, depending on who you ask. But John Hulkenberg was basically asked a question about leaks, and he straight up answered by saying, and he said that basically 99% of the time the leaks are from the inside. So
because I mean, it's not that we didn't know that. It's always hard to prove. But say let's use that Spider-Man John Campea. Picture.
Yeah.
No one would be able to get that picture unless it was from the inside.
Unless you're Andy Signor, the best YouTuber on this platform.
Dead. I'm dead. But no, you're right. It's most of the time leaks are in-house. I talked to Marvel Studios editor who edited No Way Home. Jeffrey Ford, who is a good friend of the show, and that leak devastated him. The Toby and Andrew leak devastated him because
who wouldn't it have devastated?
Yeah,
Like-
he's sitting there editing this film, and he's like, "I got the biggest surprise in my hands." And then you see it on every on every social media platform there is. That's just got to be disheartening. And then you look around the room, and it's someone you work with.
Yeah.
So,
Yep.
I have a feeling that with the advent of social media and with the ease of slip ups, studios are going to ramp up their security, and honestly, I'm okay with it.
Yeah.
But it's not a little hard when the people you're trusting are the ones leaking it. That's very hard to crack down on.
Well, nobody says
Of
it
course.
because everyone's afraid of losing their job.
Yeah, and that's really the thing, and really that's the thing with me. Like when it comes to being a scooper, like to me, I really don't think that being a scooper is for me because you're gonna have instances like that where it's like, man, I have this surprise in my hand and I can't tell anyone. Then you have someone like John Campea who does something that he did, and then it ruins the whole movie. So for me, I think it's actually a blessing that I'm not a blogger or a scooper or any of those types, because then I can still try to be surprised for movies.
Well, that's the thing is the surprise of film has gone away, right? Like it's the surprise, that element of surprise in movies is dissipated with the scooper game, because you know all the big secrets before and I'm specifically talking about these big blockbusters like Thor, like I'm actually pretty surprised Doctor Strange hasn't had more
more confirmed leaks,
more confirmed leaks,
more confirmed leaks, because we know of course you could throw shit at the wall in this one and it may stick, because like you could be like, hey, Hugh Jackman's in it, and people believe
Deadpool.
Yeah,
Deadpool
people wouldn't believe it.
You know why? Because we just came out of a movie that 3 Spider-Men were in. So
we could be in it right now. We'll just be.
And we've already got the fact that we're not only crossing over from those universes, the fact that you've basically got already confirmation, basically.
Confirmed.
Confirmed.
You didn't know that, but like the fact that Sir Patrick Stewart's in it as Charles Xavier, bringing in another universe and the possibility of so many of those characters, possibly coming back. Again, it's just. You have that opportunity to kind of just say whatever.
I'm still not even convinced that Professor X is in it.
Even when he said it, like even when Patrick Stewart said it.
I'm still skeptical. I don't know. I don't know what
you think it's just a completely different non-Charles Xavier character played by Sir Patrick Stewart?
I think it's a misdirect. I really do. I don't know. I don't know what I'm thinking.
His voice into the trailer is
I don't know. I just have. I don't know what it is about me that I just can't seem to think it's true. I don't know.
The movie is 2 weeks away at this point.
It also helps with precedent.
Actually, it's a week away for me. So.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Very cool.
So I'm excited about that.
Yeah.
But
it also helps that you've got.
Don't spoil anything.
Yeah, exactly.
Come on! I'm not gonna do nothing like that. I never spoil anything.
Getting back to Thor, though, I am so
exactly where I was going.
I'm so sick and tired of this woke Just kidding.
Oh my god! Oh my god! Well, okay, so let's.
I do feel bad for every single like reactor and live streamer who reacted to the trailer, because I'm like that's getting claimed instantly.
Actually, mine didn't.
Did really?
No, my reaction did not get flagged.
That's very
Andre's did either.
Even with the theme song.
Because it's weird because the rights, for those who don't know in chat, the rights holders for Guns N' Roses are notorious for copyright claiming and issuing takedown notices with material
That's
from Guns N'
surprising.
Roses in their video. It's just it's really silly, at least to me. I mean, I understand wanting to make money, but I'm also like,
I mean, it's a weird line. It's a weird line because you as obviously that song doesn't need any promotion. People hear it and they know
No.
it.
Right.
But that attached to Thor, I don't know. Maybe maybe in the next week or so they'll find it all and flag it all. Who knows? But for now, no.
There was a couple of people who got dinged, like bigger channels. So
yeah. Well, I'm sure if I've been flagged for less and I've been flagged for more. So
I know. I was on a stream when the No Way Home trailer dropped, and I was on the stream.
Wait, I think it was me.
Maybe.
Yeah, it was you and you. It was me, you, and Meta, and we were waiting, and it dropped, and then we.
Oh no! There was no. That was like the replay or something like that. But I remember there was one stream I was on. I think it was that one where like it played. We watched it. The stream got taken down while we were going because we were watching it. It was
it's a weird thing. It's a weird thing. But overall, guys, what are your thoughts on Thor? Are you? I mean, because this is the first character to get a fourth movie. Not a lot of people are acknowledging that.
The original Avenger to get 4 movies, and Hawkeye is the only original Avenger to not have a solo movie. The more you know.
Yeah, and I'm doing a little video about the Disney Plus shows because there is a theme. There's an overall theme on Disney Plus that I'll go into a little bit, but if you had to gauge the teaser out of 10, what would you give that teaser? Did it hype you up? Did it do its job? Basically, we'll go left to right.
Okay,
solid 6.
6.
4, I guess. Like for me, it really did nothing for me.
Okay.
So I guess kind of like a 0, like it didn't make me mad or anything.
0, Jesus.
Didn't do anything.
All right, TW.
This is for me was an 8, but the reason I say is I like Thor as a character. I like Thor as a character. I've been a Guns N' Roses fan since I was about 13 years old, and so hearing that was really cool. There's a funny thing about that, which I'll get into in a second. But I liked the trailer. I liked that there was something which I had completely forgotten because I hadn't read the Thor God of Thunder comic in a while.
I just read volume 1. It's pretty awesome.
It's amazing. I love it. It's just been so long because I have them in single issues in my box.
Oh, nice.
I haven't picked them up, but seeing the shot, I had forgotten that shot of the dead creature that Thor sees is right out of issue. I think it's
issue 4. Yeah, I just read volume 1 yesterday, and it's another god.
Like,
there, yeah.
That. I loved it so much.
As I said, I got you.
That whole first arc of God of Thunder was so amazing.
Look how accurate that is.
Present in the future. I know.
You know what I'm really interested to know if they're going to acknowledge the the eternal thing, the celestial that's popping out of Earth. I wonder if they'll acknowledge that in Thor or any other movie.
But the other reason I really liked it again was just like I said, I like that character. It'll be interesting. This is probably going to be Natalie Portman's last time as Jane. Might be Chris Hemsworth's last time as Thor for a while. If not, period. So
yeah,
it'll be a nice send off, hopefully for those characters. But the one thing that was kind of funny about this year, I want to make sure my information is correct for myself, because you know how like Taika Waititi put up the original the Ravager Thor poster. in theaters July 7th, 1986 or whatever it was.
Yeah.
What's funny is Sweet Child was not out at that point. It's just an interesting coincidence or an interesting thing.
Well,
yeah,
look at you.
And this year's also the 35th anniversary of Appetite for Destruction, which is the album that Sweet Child of Mine was on. So
I like this poster, by the way.
I like this one, and
not,
I like
it's a dope
I like
poster.
It's not typical. It's not
I like
typical.
the other one too. I like the other poster too. Do you have the Natalie Portman trailer or poster?
Yeah.
No,
that one's dope too.
I do not.
Anyways, Natalie Portman posted on her Instagram. It's basically that same shot, but with the mighty Thor.
Yep.
It says the one is not the only.
Yep.
Yeah, and she looks good. She looks good as Lady Thor. She looks great as the character, and I'm excited to see. I mean, okay, so we're on Earth here, and
I just moved that car.
the hammer seems to have smashed, and I think that when she gets her power, the hammer comes back together and in her hands, because then you see Thor kind of look shocked. I don't know.
Yeah, because
that's my
guess
theory
is,
on
well,
it.
Assuming that both, because I'm going to figure if I'm trying to piece together the narrative in my brain. My gathering is at this point, Thor has probably already met Jane, and then the God Butcher's minions attack wherever this is. I've seen speculation that this is New Asgard.
That was my first thought, that it's New Asgard.
And then, so what I think happens is this is where he sees Jane, but he doesn't know that Jane somehow has reconstructed or whatever, through whatever magical means, has reconstructed Mjolnir and summons Mjolnir for the first time.
Okay.
And becomes Mighty Thor there.
Now, do we think that they're going to go the cancer route?
I would be unsurprised. I would be unsurprised, especially considering, like, I've had discussions with people about how, considering the fact that the 3 snaps on top of being fused with an Infinity Stone, the amount of radiation that has echoed through
a bunch of gamma radiation's been through her.
I could see that being the cause. But the other thing was, if you look in the trailer, when the Milano 2 is taking off and it cuts back to Thor and Korg on the ground, you've got Thor in the center, Korg on the right, and an empty space to the left. I think somebody else is there.
That's
speculation. There's speculation that it might be Beta Ray Bill, but I don't know how true that might be.
I'm not lying. I think I would actually cry. I would cry in the theater.
Yeah.
If I saw Beta Ray Bill, because if it wasn't him, like if it was him, that's cool. I almost would rather love to see. There's part of me always wanted like a mid-credit scene or a post-credit scene where it's like Mjolnir or whatever. Like I could see, like, for example, where Stormbreaker has been placed into the ground. I think that's one of the last shots of the movie. That's my speculation. And then you could see, like, in the mid-credit, Beta Ray Bill needs it for something, or like either Mjolnir and picks up the hammer to prove that he's worthy. And then you see Beta Ray Bill will return or something.
I'm wondering if there's going to be any history between Gore the God Butcher and Thor, like in the God of Thunder comic, because Volume 1 really there's history, yes, like because Thor's thousands of years old, and he first encounters Gore, at least in the God of Thunder book. He encounters Thor in like 856 AD. And then by time travel means he also winds up far into the future where Thor's the king of Asgard. He's the only one left. And that's where him and Gore like kind of have their final bout. But I don't know if they're going to go down that route because Marvel changes stuff.
Yeah, I was going to say, the Marvel Studios thing is they'll combine things and mesh them together to kind of create a new storyline, which could be really cool.
See also Civil War.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Billy says, I think Beta Ray would be in a post-credit, leading to a new series of movies. That could be, or a Disney Plus show. That could be a good Disney Plus show.
Here's the thing. I think especially with a character like Beta Ray Bill, because you're going to have a character who is probably largely CG. I mean, we've already got the fact that Disney is going to set the precedent with She-Hulk, that we're going to have a fully CG character, or like with a model there, but like fully CG character as your mocap. Thank you. Yeah, as your protagonist. So I could see them doing something like that for Beta Ray Bill, but it's also a show that it seems like, especially with the fact that he's already been out in the galaxy and out in the universe, like to have, it would make sense to be like a big epic sci-fi show or sci-fi, movie or something like that. And I think you'd want some budget for that. And hopefully, if they did a show like that, Disney would throw some money at the wall. But we'll see if they have extra money in the pocket after, in the next couple of months. We'll see what happens over the next couple of years.
I think it's entirely possible that Lady Thor could also carry forward too. I am not sure that this would be Natalie Portman's last outing, because she came back for this after stepping away after Thor 2. So I wonder, because they're not doing long-term contracts anymore, but they're doing it by like a case-by-case basis. And I wonder if Natalie Portman would be willing to continue on if, Thor meets his end at this movie.
Oh, and that would.
Hi, Raya. Raya could play Jane Foster going forward if Natalie doesn't want to do it. Raya, there you go.
Can I play Jane Foster?
Yeah, of course.
Okay.
I can be Fat Thor. Is that all right?
I love the scene of him doing the
chains.
Yeah, and like getting getting buffed. Getting buffed.
He has the strongest Avenger trucker hat.
Yep.
Remember, dude, you can't put women in positions of power because that makes guys feel bad for some reason.
Oh God! All right, on to our next topic of the night, which is still an MCU topic, but we're gonna continue. So Doctor Strange is 2 weeks away.
Yep.
We already started talking about it a little bit, but theories, guys. So theories on who the villain actually is in Doctor Strange. Now, I do have a little bit of an idea, but I would like to hear you guys' theories on this, because Marvel has done an absolutely amazing job keeping all of the secrets that they need to keep for this film.
Okay. So, guess I'll start. Really, I guess for my thing is, if we're going on with the Sam Raimi thing, and it looks like Sam Raimi, looking at the trailers, Sam Raimi definitely does have all of his foot into this movie, so to speak. I would say that in a twist of a movie kind of morality thing, the real villain is going to be good Doctor Strange and good Wanda. Because they kind of did actually mess up the multiverse, both of them, if you really think about it already.
Well, in a recent interview, someone asked Sam Raimi, is there a villain that's not like, he basically asked who the villain was, and he said, is it bad Doctor Strange, Wanda, Doctor Strange, or another character? And he said, well, at times, I shouldn't answer this, but all of the above. So
exactly.
That's kind of where my mind was at with it too. I think the antagonists of this movie are going to be a combination of like Baron Mordo, evil Doctor Strange.
Oh, that was the other one. I'm sorry. Thank you. Mordo is the other one. Thank you.
And obviously maybe in sinister version of Scarlet Witch. I'm not entirely sure, because there's that one shot of Elizabeth Olsen facing down like Scarlet Witch in Scarlet Witch garb. So
yeah, and then the zombie. So a lot of. I'm actually really surprised at how much of the What If episode stuff is actually coming to light.
Oh yeah, I was really surprised with that.
I was one of the ones who said straight up, you're not going to see any of this in the MCU, and my fist is in my mouth. Like, I'm okay with admitting it. I really am. You know what I mean? Because as soon as I saw bad Doctor Strange, I was like, oh God. We're in for a treat here. But the movie also doesn't even break 2.5 hours, I believe.
It's like 2:15 or something like that.
So it's definitely on the lower spectrum of length. So I don't expect a lot of filler. I think this movie is going to be go right from the jump because I mean we're coming right out of No Way Home. This can't be happening. This can't be taking place too far from home, which leads me to my next series of things is the MCU timeline right now. So back in the day, for anyone who doesn't remember, back in the day, Phase 1, every movie took place at the current time.
Yep.
Like with the exception of Captain America.
Yep.
So the year the movie was made was the year that the movie was set in, and then the snap changed everything 5 years forward, etc. Now it seems everything's happening within maybe a month or so of the snap, 2 months. I'd like to get your takes on that.
I think the first phase, they nicknamed it like Fury's Week or something like that because it all takes place in like a time span of a week, except the Avengers, which I think happens not too long after Captain America wakes up out of the ice.
Okay.
So after the snap, though, you're right. Everything is kind of building to one another. Yeah.
And within another year, I think we're less than that. Assuming that I think we're getting close to where it's going to start catching up again. Like when we're almost at the point where we're lined up with where we should be, as it were, or where the timeline is in the MCU.
Because the timeline in the MCU currently, I think, stands. The snap takes place in 2018, and then it thrusts it forward 5 years. So that would put it at 2023, which would be next year. So it is almost all caught up. As far as this movie, I want to say I remember reading somewhere that it takes place a couple months, so 2 or 3 months after No Way Home, which sounds apt.
So this movie takes place 2 months after No Way Home, so
give or take. But yeah,
after.
So then, Thor: Love and Thunder would take place like what, 6 more months after that?
I think Thor: Love and Thunder might happen concurrently,
simultaneously,
yeah.
Because they said Moon Knight. The Moon Knight people didn't even know when their show even takes place in all of this now.
Yeah, I am very confused on where Moon Knight is taking place.
It's for sure after the snap because Mark got his passport in 2018.
Well, for me, I think Moon Knight.
Good catch. Good catch on that.
But
on Twitter.
Here's where I think Moon Knight kind of takes place on, and I think it kind of does make sense if you really think about it. Like, if you really do think about the grand scheme of things, I think it does make sense. But I think Moon Knight takes place even though it takes place in the MCU as a whole, I think generally it takes place in its own universe because I've only seen the first 2 episodes. I haven't seen 3 and 4 yet. I'm gonna watch them after the stream. But from what I've seen, they haven't really mentioned anything about the Avengers or any other mutants or anything like that. So I think where Moon Knight kind of takes place, and I think this is why the director said they don't know where it takes place, is because I think they kind of went for the safe bet and kind of created its own universe. So that maybe, and this is another Doctor Strange 2 speculation, I wouldn't be surprised if we took a trip to Moon Knight's universe to confirm this.
Well, I didn't think about it that way, but you are right in the sense that they haven't mentioned any events from the MCU, and I've seen all 4 episodes. I might be wrong. Can anyone else? But I also wasn't listening for it, so I don't remember hearing anything.
I did see on Twitter that someone posted a picture, and it's in episode 3 that there is a very small Easter egg to Kang the Conqueror. So I don't know exactly. I don't
What
remember
was
exactly
that?
what it was.
Do
It
you-
was
do
like
you-
I think it was like a symbol on the back of like a T-shirt or something. Or like a poncho. I honestly don't recall. But it was definitely like 100% confirmed that it was a nod to King the Conqueror, which makes sense because Kang does have certain ties to Egyptian culture. One of his variants is, oh god, I don't remember the name of the character, but like something Tut.
Yeah, Rama
Ramatut. That
Rama
something
Tut.
like that.
Yeah, so that and that's what I was. That makes a lot of sense now that we're thinking about it. That because it did strike me that like I'm like these Egyptian gods are
here we go.
extremely powerful. Extremely powerful.
Yeah, but how interesting is that though? Because I'm assuming you're probably looking at the Wikipedia thing as well, Phil. Ramatut actually appears in the comics before Kang did.
Huh.
First appearance of Ramatut was Fantastic Four 19 in October of 63. Yes. Kang shows up in Avengers 8 in September of 64. Yes. That's really interesting.
Huh.
Yeah,
and
so
I just sent it in the private chat. The first thing I did, I just typed in Kang the Conqueror, and it's one of the first things that Culture Crave popped up. MoonKnight crew confirms the symbol on the back of the guy's jacket in episode 3 was a Ramatut Easter egg, a version of Kang the Conqueror.
Huh.
So it very well could be in another timeline / universe.
Yeah. And yeah.
Holy
that'd
shit.
be cool though. I think just to have an idea of, you know, the fact that you can kind of lean into the multiverse in the way that DC is now trying to do, but like in the fact that you actually have sort of the grounding for it.
So right there. Oh, that's interesting.
Yeah.
Wow, you might be onto something, kid. Because even in what oh god, what movie was it?
No shit. Oh, man.
I can't remember.
You guys ready for some breaking news?
Yes.
Okay,
Yes.
sure.
Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse heads to summer 2023. Deadline just confirmed that.
No.
Wait, you mean for part 2 or 1?
No.
Part 1.
Oh, man.
You can't make this shit up.
How's that? That was one of my last every movie I was anticipating this year moved to next year. Aquaman 2, Flash, Mission Impossible 7, John Wick 4, Across the Spider-Verse.
Why are they still moving films? Like people are going to movies.
Yeah.
And well, at least for me, I still have Avatar 2 to look forward to.
I'm looking forward to Top Gun Maverick.
The last movies that I have to look forward to now is after the Northman and Doctor Strange is freaking Shazam 2 and Black Adam. So everything I wanted in my life.
Get there.
But Shazam 2 is going to be out in 2023.
No,
Shazam 2 is coming out in December.
Not this year.
Wait,
actually.
That doesn't make any sense then. Why did they move it? Why did they move Shazam to December?
Black Adam go first. Black Adam is first. So that would lead into Shazam because people know that Black Adam is his villain.
So,
enemy.
Nice little marketing strategy for them.
Not only that, it has a much smaller budget than the movie it's going up against the same day, Avatar 2. So I don't think WB's all that too worried about its return on investment there because people are going to have their option. They're going to go see Avatar 2 or the kids are going to go see Shazam Fear of the Gods.
Yeah. And it's interesting. Well, I mean, you got James Cameron having precedent of directing an Aquaman movie, of course. That's a joke. That's a joke some people will get. But
oh yeah, I got the joke because there's going to be a lot of water effects in.
No. For those who haven't seen Entourage, in season 3 of Entourage, basically, because each season is sort of based around a movie within the character of Vinny Chase's career. The 3rd season is based around a comic book movie, and it's the first film adaptation in that universe of Aquaman.
Yep.
What's nuts about that, though, what's crazy is the season finale is about them bringing the film to market finally and trying to bring the domestic box office weekend like the domestic box office opening weekend record. To show you how old it was, the film that held the record when that episode was filmed was Sam Raimi's 2002 Spider-Man. But so Spider-Man, it wasn't the only. I think they did mention the other ones. Yeah, so they mentioned a couple of other.
By the way, hello, William. He's on his break right now. So
yeah, I'm good, man. I had to get out somewhere where there wasn't a truck drowning out the sound.
Long time no see, William.
Yeah, it's all right.
Hey, what's going on,
Well, good to see you, man. How's everything?
Busy. It's that time of year all around.
Yeah.
You got first week of May is pretty much what I'm loading up for. We have Free Comic Book Day. We have Doctor Strange. We rented out a theater for that. We have Strange New Worlds premiering on the 4th of May. And then just a whole bunch of stuff going on that first week. That first week for me is probably bigger than Black Friday or Christmas.
Good God.
That is kind of funny that Strange New Worlds is premiering on the day that has now been colloquially referred to as Star Wars Day.
Yeah, and Star Wars had the option to put Obi-Wan, but they decided to go for the date of the release of Star Wars, which is May 27th, which I thought was dumb. Simply because most people who are Star Wars fans right now are in their 20s, 30s, and late 30s, maybe 40s. The significance of the release date of Star Wars, it pales in comparison to what May 4th has become. So they made that decision.
But it also does help that that weekend is celebration. And I have a tinfoil hat theory because the first day of the convention is the 26th, which is the day before Obi-Wan Kenobi drops. I have a bit of a tinfoil hat theory that there's going to be an Obi-Wan Kenobi panel
Probably
on Thursday, and it'll because I'm assuming they'll live stream everything except for what I'm about to describe, where it's like, thank you guys for coming out. By the way, don't get up from your seats. The reason there's an hour left after this before the next panel, we're going to show you guys the first episode, cut to black screens.
Well, that's cool for the people that are there, but most people will not be going to creation. Just in general. So, I kind of see that would be cool for the people that were there, but for the general audiences that would be watching it on the 4th if they had played it.
Consider and I also think it's really kind of dumb as well for them to do that. Period, because you're gonna have those you're gonna have those people that have their phone and they're gonna record it sneakily. So it's like, why would they do that if they know it's gonna happen?
They did have that Mando. Considering the fact that it would be 24 hours until the release of the actual episode, and then also consider that that Mando dropped a sizzle reel the year it was announced, and that was exclusively for the people at Celebration. So, it again, I'm not saying it's going to happen. Like I said, that's one of my couple of tinfoil hat theories I've got going on.
That sounds like something they would do. It's very plausible. I just think I don't know why they did it. I think they will do it. It just doesn't make any sense.
It's like Comic-Con pre 2015, 2014, where basically all the trailers and all the reveals were just for the people at the convention.
Yeah, screwing up Comic-Con is what that did.
Either streamed it or cut to black until while the trailer airs, and then cut back when it was over and things like that.
Yeah.
If there's one thing that ruined Comic-Con for me, and this is coming from a guy who had been going since 88, 89, when it was at the Omni downtown San Diego, it's them screwing it up with those trailers. Listen, you got a whole week in the Comic-Con. You could separate that, and if you want to do Hall H and jam everything up with the trailers, make that 2 separate events. The first tier, for those guys, and the second tier for the people who actually want to go down, get autographs, and do stuff that has nothing. Listen, I can watch a trailer on YouTube. I have more excitement of watching a trailer on YouTube and jumping on somebody's panel or making my own than I do with packing with 100,000 sweaty people just to see a trailer and get within 100 feet of some celebrity that you're never going to touch. I can do that at home. So if I want to go to this year, I may go to Comic-Con because so many things have been delayed that there may not be this explosion of trailers and stuff and people there, because pretty much everybody who would anything major has pushed it all the way down, or their movies are coming out prior to then. So this might be my window to actually go to something that's actually called Comic-Con instead of YouTube Live.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I don't know what to say about that. Yeah.
Sorry.
But no, and I'm glad that you're here, William, because I did want to talk about the merger. So the Discovery merger, it's becoming more and more official each and every day. I mean, there's Warner Brothers Discovery, Twitter now. I mean, it's rocking and rolling.
Yep.
And
they even have their own YouTube channel. They haven't posted anything, but I did go down their press junket and they did have a YouTube channel. So I'm subscribed to it right now, waiting for something to drop from it.
Well, a lot of people. So, Chris Wong, nothing but love for you, really. Ping Pong Flicks, I love you. But he did a video yesterday that got 30,000 views about Henry Cavill returning in the Ta-Nehisi Coates Superman movie. That the script had been turned, 2 scripts had been turned in, and he sourced Casey Walsh. I talked to Casey today. Those are not. Those were passing thoughts of Casey. Those are not legitimate scoops. So and this is something, right? Because we do know that J.J. Abrams and Warner Brothers, there's a list of people that Warner Discovery wants to work with, and J.J. and Bad Robot are at the top of that list.
They signed a $500 million deal with
Exactly.
Warner Media before the merger. So
Yeah.
they're in business together.
Yeah.
And JJ did once work on a Superman movie. He was titled to direct it. I think it was called Superman Flyby. The script was questionable, so it doesn't surprise me that him and Ta-Nehisi Coates are kind of collaborating on something Superman specific.
Right.
Well, yeah, Flyby. Well, Flyby was the movie, for timeline wise, for those people who don't know. Chat. Flyby was the movie that became Superman Returns.
Superman Returns, right?
Yeah, because Abrams wasn't attached as I don't think was attached as a director. Oh, yeah, no, the director was the final director before the thing wanted to become Superman Returns was Eugene. Abrams was attached as screenwriter because this is before he became a director, really.
Yep.
So it's really interesting to see that kind of turnaround. But obviously, I'm hyped for Caped Crusader, which is a project that will have Abrams' name on it at the end of the day. So I need to see more of that because we literally just saw a picture and then heard Matt Reeves and Bruce Timm talk about it a little bit. I need more out of that.
Any project, no matter what, who's directing it, writing it, chalking it up together, is most likely going to have Cavill in it. Because if you look at what Zaslav was saying about or how they feel that the character has languished, there's no reason whatsoever to do anything further without him, simply because A, you have a history there, 2, you have a guy who's probably one of the most sought after, hottest names already in the position.
Hollywood, and you have him in a bow.
He wants to do it. So I think that to me, as long as Cavill's involved, I can deal with some of the other stuff, because like I said, I don't think anything that's been rumored or thought of is going to happen like we heard it. Simply because a lot of this stuff was put into motion when previous management was involved, and now you have
William.
Go ahead.
And I can attest, William's been saying this since the beginning, that these projects that were in development are going to be halted and either overhauled or just completely taken out when the new management came in. And I think what they're doing with this this Ta-Nehisi Coates and J.J. Abrams Superman is they're going to use the multiverse, and Cavill will be involved, and it will be more of a it won't be that period piece thing that we were hearing about. And I'm okay with that as long as Cavill is still Clark Kent. then I'm okay.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Really, I think
with the addition of Supergirl, like with the addition of Supergirl, we're gonna start getting more Kryptonians. Like that.
Yeah.
That's the path we're going.
Yeah, but I think all of this speculation will be solved at May 20th with Warner Discovery's upfront that they're calling it, where they're basically going to be announcing everything that's going to be coming out. Supposedly,
what was it called?
Deadline that it was Deadline that called it this, but I don't know the official name for it yet. But Deadline,
what's happening on the 20th though is just them introducing some aspects of it. What they really are talking about is you're going to have a fandom. So as far as DC stuff goes on, you'll most likely have a fandom. I'm thinking in between August and October, and that's what's going to mean something for us because you still have to name a head of DC president, DC Films. You have to name the czar that he's talking about that he's going to put over Toby Emmerich. So there's a lot of people that have to be put in place. DC is relevant.
So I guess what besides Black Adam and Shazam, what does DC need to do to get back on track? Because post Flash, we know that there's going to be a new timeline, and I don't know if you guys were, disciplined enough, but I did read those leaks that came out. So I don't know if you guys did.
Sometimes those scripts that leak are sometimes usually not true either. So it's a weird thing.
Weather balloons.
Oh, of course.
Yeah.
I mean, I know the game.
Yeah.
I just read. I
have not read them.
Hell, I read some of the leaks, supposed leaks for Shazam too. So
I read nothing. So most of that stuff most likely is not going to happen though. Like I said, this stuff was put in place. What they really need to do, the most important thing for them to do now that they've delayed a lot of their most important films to later on, is they need to start using all of their mediums, all their levels, everything that Warner Brothers Discovery has at their disposal to start linking the importance of these movies together. Linking the importance of Shazam, Black Adam to The Flash. They haven't done that up to this point. And if these movies had been released on time, they probably would not have done as well as they could have because they have not had the momentum shift that you build when you're building this type of franchises.
Right. Yeah, and now you'll get Black Adam and Shazam before the Flash alters the timeline.
Right.
Yeah, but that's really the thing about it too, like this whole Flash thing. Like the Flash to me is kind of like Russian roulette at this point. And let me explain why that is. Because with the Flash basically creating a whole new timeline and all these other rumors and stuff about it, like rebooting or whatever. Like at the end of the day, let's just call it what it is, creating a new timeline. So that kind of does make everything kind of irrelevant still to me. Until we actually see this movie, it seems like every movie pre-Flash is really irrelevant until we see what the Flash is and what it does to the universe.
Right. Well, it depends on what they're doing, and if what it looks like they're doing is like a reverse crisis situation. And if that's the case, then everything is relevant because everything would be preserved. You would go forward with one consolidated timeline without disposing of anything that's happened. And remember, Machete said months back that everything you've seen is canon everything is. So that tells me, I heard that once before, but like I said, that means there's going to be a cinematic clean slate for them on the big screen. But everything that they've done is going to be preserved in some way, shape, or form. Either on a different platform or just in,
which could open the door for a Snyderverse HBO verse. It could open the door for even a theatrical, like a limited theatrical. It doesn't. We just don't know.
With me, like I don't really care for those Snyder movies, anyways. They're not there.
Wow,
it doesn't really matter to me. But I know people like them. But it's like the thing here is. What they actually brought up in the Variety article that I liked was that DC needs a brand identity. You ask any person, what's DC's brand? director-driven movies, that's not a brand. That's
no, it's not.
Yeah, that's a Warner Brothers.
No,
brand,
you're so spot on. Marvel is a brand.
Yeah, fans attach themselves to all these different IPs that they have. They know what Kevin Feige's about. You ask me,
they don't care as long as the Marvel tags on it. They go and see it.
But DC has a huge advantage over them as far as brands go. If they would just utilize it, they've been.
I think DC actually has more flexibility than the MCU and can be more successful in how they use it. Remember, the DCU movies, they can be rated R. That's a big upside that they actually have to tackle. Yeah. It's a nice upside they have there, and they can have their cake and eat it too. They can have a universe with the Reeves movies, and they can have a universe that's kind of like a bootleg MCU that they've been wanting to have for a very long time.
Yeah. The irony is that the MCU looks to Christopher Reeve's Superman movie for almost every single movie that they put out as far as inspiration goes.
You're not wrong.
Now,
another advantage.
Even with
actually, no. Winter Soldier was great.
Well, even with running a company like now with DC, you have people that just like Snyder's movies. You have people that like the animated movies. You have people like the TV stuff. You have people like Arrowverse. You have people like movies just because they're DC movies. Like you got to get people under one utilized vision. And if anyone isn't going to be about that with the company moving forward, you just tell them to get the fuck out. Like that was the problem with the previous leadership, was that everyone had their own ideas and they weren't really trying to like compromise on what was the overall end goal. Everyone was like, well, I want this. I want this.
Here's the thing, though. You might make a mistake in doing so. Simple, like if you compare the two franchises, you compare Marvel. You've had one pretty much basic cinematic universe, with the exception of Spider-Man and the Hulk. 99.9% of everything you've ever seen on a Marvel movie has existed in this one generation. Whereas DC, my grandfather picked up a DC comic. My dad picked up DC comics. If I had kids of a reading age, they would have picked. We're talking about 4 generations. A lot of whom are still alive, with the exception of the grandparent age. So you have 3 different categories that you really need to be pleasing. You don't need to distort your Snyder stuff to please other people. Please those people at once. You got to be greedy at this thing. Make all the money. Don't decide on one road.
I think as soon as the cinematic universe was donned with the Marvel thing, the multiverse was inevitable, because we all knew it, right? Because at a point where we go, okay, it's gonna have to end somewhere. Like Chris Evans isn't gonna be Captain America forever. How are they gonna end things? Okay, we think back. How did they do it in the comics?
They just transition the roles.
Yeah, the multiverse. So the films are doing exactly what the comics did.
Yeah.
And that's going to be okay. Make all the money. Have all the Batmans. But stay true to because there is that group of people that really want that Snyder stuff. And I don't think that they're less deserving of the general audience.
The issue here is the general audience is the one that kind of makes up the most of the box office. So like the stuff that we talk about on here is.
But here's the thing, though: the conversation surrounding box office has changed because we are in the streaming age, and streaming age has changed the game.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. It's not about views anymore.
Really, here's another thing. Like, you want to talk like the thing about like the whole general audience thing. I really don't. This is my honest opinion on that whole situation. I really don't care about it, because this is the reason why. You can, and this is pretty much the Jim Lee. I'm gonna use Jim Lee as kind of like the cohort of it. Like, you remember that video that came out where I think it was Cinecon or something like that, where someone asked Jim Lee about what he thinks about Snyder fans and the different DC faction of fans. Like, he said it exactly how I've really been thinking about it. That it doesn't matter. Like obviously you can say what you want, but Snyder fans are obviously DC fans. Like, I'll be honest, right now, I didn't know Zack Snyder as in name first until Man of Steel, but I also didn't know him through 300. I didn't know him through the Owls of Ga'Hoole or even Sucker Punch. But so really, I was really a more of a DC fan first, and then a Snyder fan, and really, like, to me, this is really kind of like my personal thing is like when it comes to DC and really DC as a whole, even in their new stuff that I do like the Batman, it's an okay movie, but the problem is that Warner Brothers and DC really were just focused on small scale stuff. Like you can have Starro all you want and all of the Batman stuff all you want, but at the end of the day, DC has really been doing all this small stuff and really nothing ever big. And I really do think that's what Snyder fans want. They don't.
Well, this is the thing. The general audience doesn't care about that stuff, dude. When a person at a movie theater is like a mom who rocks her kid so the kid doesn't start crying, though that type of person doesn't care about what's going on right here. So the reason why you need the general audience on board is because they're the ones consistently going to the theater, making all this money for most of the movies. That's the reason why you need them on board. Because people like us that are like hardcore comic book fans and stuff like that, we are such a small percentage. We are essentially don't even matter in the grand scheme of things.
3% is what we represent, by the way. 3%.
What is it? What is it?
30%, right? 3% or 30. Sorry.
Yeah.
30? Okay. Oh, okay. No, I was sorry. I was kind of
No. Hold on. What percent?
3%. As far as the hardcore IP driven people,
yeah,
like us on this screen, we represent roughly about 3% of the market.
And you don't want to appeal to those people for a reason why it's because you're gonna come support no matter what anyway. Because
you have me out.
I
you
need
naturally
that
like
fact
the IP.
But wait,
I'm gonna need to fact check that. But
because there's also something about that as well. Like you're not really getting the main crux of the issue, Nightwing, because you saying that you need to please the general audience.
You do, because they're your biggest audience.
No, wait, Nightwing, hear me out. Nightwing, let me finish. Nightwing, you don't need to please everyone. Like you're saying that you need to, you're saying that you need to please the general audience, which you are saying is the majority of the population, which you are correct. But the thing is, you can't please everyone.
That's not the goal,
it needs to be something different. There needs to be a different flavor. Like you can't have, like, let's say there's 100 M&Ms out there. You can't have 100. You can't have 100 M&Ms, and so people will get bored, and then someone is going to be like, "Hey, let's make a Hershey's." Then that other person makes a Hershey's. It's a whole variety thing.
Well, the difference
arguably
here,
you could just run your argument down by the MCU. They are 100 M&Ms.
Well, the reason why you need
the general audience cutter movies
on board with certain things is because your movie. If we're the hardcore audience, we are not going to make up the majority of the box office.
Well, why do you think Marvel? Why is Marvel successful, guys?
Because Marvel appeals to a general audience.
General audience.
Not even just the like they appeal to comic book fans as well.
They're 100 M&Ms.
They also even have the hardcore fans. They go like, you know what? I'm not really like this, but also go watch the movie. You need everyone on board.
Well, here's the thing though. They appeal to the general audience as a priority. The comic book fans like you and me are going to be on board no matter what, but we're not their aim.
Exactly.
Right. But you know what they give us? You know what they give us comic book? You know what? So Marvel does it well, and I'm not like Jeffrey. You're right. I know what you're going, and I get it. But what Marvel does well is they do appeal to the general audience, but they also give us moments like when Cap catches
yeah,
right.
They know we're out
there. They give us those moments that we know about, that the general audience member gets excited for, but they don't know why.
Yeah.
Right. That when when that moment when Captain America and Iron Man hit each other in Civil War, and it's the comic cover, right?
Yeah.
Those are the moments for us.
Well, it's not even just about, it's about a money thing too. They're not in this for the hardcore audience. They're in this for making money. This is not a charity. They're not
But here's the
running
thing,
charity
though.
here.
They've been in it for the fans since the inception of Marvel Studios. Since Iron Man 1, they started out predominantly in a similar way that Warner Brothers did with The Dark Knight and with Superman 78 by having these really prominent but not well-known filmmakers make these awesome movies about these comic book characters. And now, as Marvel as a brand has been bought by Disney, they have that marketing power from Disney. They have just that they just have a formula. It works for them. On top of that, they are a studio dedicated solely to producing content based around superheroes and comic book characters. That is their MO, that is their IP, and that is what they set out to do. Warner Brothers Pictures, on the other hand, they've had that with DC, but they've also had to balance that along with doing other things like Harry Potter, like standalone smaller budget films, horror films with New Line. Like it's difficult to try and put that pissing match together when one has a lot more to focus on than the other.
And that's about to change, by the way, because I think we're going to end up with a DC film studio, which should have happened 9 years ago.
It should have happened a long time ago. You're absolutely right.
That's what I like in the article where the guy was like trying to be like, we got to get everyone on board, you know. And if people aren't going to be with that, it's too bad. That's just how life works. If they won't be on with the new ideas that they're going to bring on, who cares? They're going to come back anyway. Like most of these guys that say they're not going to come back will come back anyway or watch the film opening Thursday night. People that say they aren't going to watch these movies are going to be there opening Thursday night supporting the movie. Or even if you pirate it, you're still watching the movie, so you're still technically giving them your time and your effort.
Yep, and I agree with that 100%, Nightwing, because this is a actual thing. Like when, like to me, when once Endgame came and gone, I was like, you know what? I think I'm gonna be done with the MCU and to kind of take a break from it, which I did do. But then I eventually came back and decided watching some of the new MCU stuff, but out of curiosity, I haven't seen WandaVision because it just hasn't interested me. I haven't seen the What Ifs, but I did see Falcon and Winter Soldier, and like I said, I'm seeing MoonKnight now. So I'm not not as passionately watching the MCU as I was before Endgame, but I'm still watching it because of the curiosity of it and being entertained. So
also, to be fair, we're not where Warner Brothers was making their mistakes in the 2013, 14, 15, 16, 17 era. The audience was different. You had what I call the wrestling fan marks. People who would trash one company or another that were never going to see these movies. You had people destroying, Batman versus Superman, who were never going to see the movies, and you had idiot executives who would listen to them. The climate has changed. We don't have the polarized atmosphere that we used to have, because those same people that I used to give out tickets to and do these promotions for were watching Zack Snyder's Justice League with me, and they loved it. So the atmosphere itself has changed there. And even by the way, before I go, because I'm running out of a battery here real quick. Statistic with the 3% is I have my own internal one because we have to poll these guys in order to give them their swag. But it does mirror, if you do look at it, as far as the percentage of fans that find out about and interact as far as their movie-going habits, particular movies, it does mirror it, and it's broken down. You can Google it. It's broken down with YouTube and Twitter were the two major ones that they use. But the majority of the people who engage on our level, which means we're like I said, we're the 1%ers. We're like the biker gang guys with the patch. Is so small. People think we're like 50 or 60% of the population.
No, yeah, you're right. Yeah,
if we're just 3%, the Snyder fandom is like point.
Yeah, because you're gonna factor in, and that boils down into money. You don't make money off people like us. We're not how they make these movies profitable. That's why you need to appeal to the general audience, because that's how you make your movies profitable. And the movies are profitable. That's how you get sequels, because they seem as a success in terms of money.
Now, Ty, where it does seem proportionate, even though we're a small percent, we can drive a lot of stuff, because unlike the 97%, we keep things in the atmosphere a lot longer for the general audience to see. There's a reason why people who are laymen that weren't into the Snyder Cut were even able to see it, is because the 1%ers, the 2%ers like Les kept it out there. And eventually,
and that's why it's sold out, on Blu-ray. That's why it's watched all the time on HBO. That's
and Netflix.
And
Netflix and those territories like Germany and stuff.
Yeah. So I mean, we have our voice matters in these cases, and that's what's great, because we keep the conversation going and we keep it. We are a loud minority, and that's a good thing. And that's I guess the moral is, it's okay to be loud. It's okay to be proud, right? But the disrespect and the division with the DC fandom, because someone said earlier, there's no difference between a DC fan and a Snyder fan.
Right.
Well, I mean,
Snyderverse
fan. We're one and the same.
Yeah, I'm living proof that that's not true.
Yeah.
It's
I
really
don't like
unfortunate.
any of you.
It's really unfortunate that there are some.
Well, it's not.
folks
No.
out there-
I'm saying breaking it down. We wanted Zach's it's not a personal thing. He whether you like his DC or not, it's at the end of the day, it's still DC, and
Right.
we're DC fans, right? Are we not?
Yeah.
We wanted it,
Hey, Ty,
even
I'm
if you
running
didn't
through all
like
that.
it, you wanted it to succeed.
Hey, Ty, thanks for having me on. I'm literally at 1%, but thanks for having me on. Great conversation, and hope to have you on my show.
Yeah, man. Nice to see you. Oh, we gotta talk. I forgot. My bad, dude.
Yeah,
I've been
William.
so busy, man.
William, set up a day and I'll come join you.
I love you.
Man. Look forward to having you. Hey,
Take it
see y'all
easy.
guys. Thank you.
Damn, I didn't even know William had his own show. When did that happen?
That happened a little
must
while
be on
ago.
the point
He's on-
next to lounge.
He's had it for about a month or 2 months now.
What was
So
the other thing? The other thing the article brought up was Superman was left to languish, and not even just with Henry Cavill. People gotta factor in. There's 9 different Batman movies. There's 9 different Spider-Man movies. Superman has what? 6?
6.
5.
Six.
Or 5, right? Or 6. I think it's 6.
you can't
Five.
count. Are we counting BVS?
Wait, Superman.
Solo, sorry,
There were
Solo
4
movies.
There were
6.
Wait,
Yeah,
no,
There's
hold
Superman
on.
1 through 4. Superman Returns. Man of Steel.
Yeah. So
So
with that,
5.
why does Superman and why does Batman and Spider-Man have more films than the most iconic superhero as well? They're all three some of the biggest superheroes of all time.
Because
Why does Superman
Batman
only
and
have this-
Spider-Man are the most popular DC and Marvel characters that they have in their catalog. They
No,
also make the most.
no,
they
not
also make the
really.
most-
Yeah.
From a
they
box
are.
office standpoint, a general
They
audience
are.
standpoint, they also
They
sell
are.
most
Not a
merchandise
big
between
box-
the two.
yeah,
So
and that's the thing.
they
Superman's
really
not a
are.
big box office draw.
But wait, that's the thing. But that's the thing. Really, that's the whole thing about this whole box office draw. There's so many factors into it that a lot of people don't pay attention to. You're gonna have to ask these questions about hey, there are 9 Batman films, and they kept going with it because Batman was profitable. Then you have to ask yourself, hey, there's been 5 Superman movies. Why haven't you been doing those? Especially when Man of Steel is the most profitable Superman movie to date. Look it up. Especially for solo movies, when it comes to Superman, Man of Steel was the most profitable Superman movie, is the most profitable Superman movie to date. So it's why don't you do more Superman movies to get the general audience still more? And so if they kept, basically what I'm saying is, if they wanted Superman to be more profitable, they should make more of them.
That's what we're saying.
Because the issue here is all 3 of them are extremely popular, but Superman is literally everyone knows Superman is. Why does he not have movies coming out like they do?
Exactly.
Yeah,
That's what we all want, is more Superman.
Partially,
and it better involve Brainiac.
Just got through with a second trilogy before Superman is now going to get a. I don't know when Superman will get another movie. I don't know. The only thing keeping Superman's name in the conversation is shows like Superman and Lois and his animated movies.
By the way, just want to throw this out there. Superman and Lois is a good show.
Yeah, it is. It is.
and Stargirl. Stargirl.
I love Stargirl.
Even though the budgets are I'll put it this way: the Flash and those other shows are like the bottom of the barrel as far as budget and like film wise, like how they're like quality wise. And then there's Superman and Lois and Stargirl, and they're shot wonderfully, and the lighting's better. The everything's just better. The CGI is a lot better.
Fight choreography is better.
The choreography is better. The only thing I don't like is that it's not on HBO Max, and that they still take those stupid like right now.
They took a wild break, didn't they? Yeah.
They take mad breaks on the CW. I'm a Supernatural diehard. What drove me nuts was the month-long breaks they take.
So you saw, remember, Superman and Lois season 2 starts. They bring out 4 episodes. Then they come back with 2 more. They take like a 2-week break. Then they bring back 2 more episodes. They take a 3-week break. They've been essentially off for like a month.
Yeah. I just watched the episode 9.
It was pretty good. I liked it.
It was great. And episode 10, it is coming out next week because we're on another break. Obviously,
didn't they also shorten the season count for Superman and Lois as opposed to like how they used to do the CW shows?
Yeah, so last season was 16, and this season I believe is 16 as well. Okay. I want them to shorten it again to 13 and put more into it. Put those 3 extra episode budgets into the 13. I think, and then the shows would be, the CW is old school. They do the 23 episode seasons.
Flash season 8 is 20 episodes this season.
What?
Yeah, they didn't know the episode count. It was released a few days ago. It's 20 episodes for Flash season 8. I'm still watching Flash.
And if they get a season 9, it's going to be even shorter than that.
It'll be 15 actually.
Yeah,
so we know what season 9 will be.
Yeah,
and the Arrowverse needs to end. The Arrowverse does need to end.
They haven't renewed Legends or Batwoman, have they? They haven't renewed Legends or Batwoman.
They have not.
Yeah,
Batwoman is definitely better than like most TV shows out there. We know that, right?
Yeah, they need to. William will tell you. William will argue against this, but I think the CW shows need to be transitioned out, and I think Warner Brothers needs to see, because Warner Brothers owns CW for anyone who doesn't know, and I think the superhero stuff needs to be put onto HBO Max for budget reasons, for everything.
Yeah,
for every reason.
Are they thinking about selling off the CW too?
Yeah, because shows like Vampire Diaries or whatever, and Lucifer and stuff like that. Like some other network can make those and do the.
Nothing can remake the Vampire Diaries.
Those episodes are roughly like 1 million viewers per episode.
Right.
Yeah,
that's nothing in these days. So there's nothing there. You're really only getting ad revenue.
Yeah. The YouTubers make more views off their videos than fucking CW shows do. That's crazy to think about now.
That's really crazy.
And then Legends is really expensive, and Supernatural was actually it was one of their better the CW. It was one of the better shows the CW had going. And I think a lot of viewers now, they do have Walker, and a lot of the Supernatural viewers tune into Walker because of Jared Padalecki. So I think they do have a carryover audience there. And then there's going to be a Supernatural prequel that Jensen Ackles is he wrote, which I'm extremely.
Isn't he developing that with Eric Kripke?
Yeah, so
they're even announced the Gotham Knight series and the Diggle spinoff show for some reason. I was like, what?
They just started the pilot on Gotham Knight. I think they're shooting it.
What is that?
Gotham Knights.
Gotham Knights. From what I hear,
I know who the. But what is the show?
I know,
Gotham Knights is essentially it's being headed and created by the people who do Batwoman, and it's essentially kind of like a mishmash of a new adopted kid from Bruce Wayne. They're going to investigate the murder of Bruce Wayne, and it's essentially the adopted child of Bruce Wayne teaming up with some of the villains of Gotham City. They announced one actor already is playing Harvey Dent. Let me look it up.
Oh my god.
Oh yeah.
Oh, it was
Yeah,
Misha Collins.
Yes,
yeah,
that's who it
yeah,
was. Misha Collins. Thank you.
Misha Collins?
Misha
He's
Collins
playing
is going to be
Harvey
Two-Face
Dent
on
in
Gotham
Gotham
Knight.
Knight.
Yeah,
Get the fuck out of here.
I'm not lying.
You know who he is.
Yeah,
He's
it's Castiel.
Yeah,
He's Castiel in Supernatural.
right.
Fuck yeah. Oh god, yeah. I'll watch that show just for Misha.
They announced a couple of people for the show already.
They have, yeah.
Really, for me, I would have casted the person who I keep forgetting the person's name and then remembering him, but he plays Terry Silver in the Karate Kid franchise. Like, I really do see him being a really good Harvey Dent.
I have no idea what you're talking about. So,
oh,
yeah,
Thomas
just weird
Ian
how-
Griffith.
Just weird how
Thomas
they're going to
Ian
be sold. They're going to be sold, yet they're still confirming shows and putting shows. They just started a new show called Naomi. That's for the Arrowverse too, which is so odd. I don't know what they're doing. Honestly, I don't know.
They're trying to make all their money. I'm gonna tell you what it is. They're trying to make all their money before the sell is official.
Yeah, well, like the interesting thing about the cast is like who they've announced so far. They've announced, Dula Dent. They've announced, as far as like the characters, Dula Dent. They've announced Stephanie
Harper
Brown
Rowe and her brother
Harper
Colin.
Rowe, Carrie Kelly.
Is Carrie Kelly on that cast list?
Yes, they have.
Oh wow, that's surprising.
What about Powerpuff Girls?
Navia Z. Riley Robinson is playing her. That's her name?
Okay.
Isn't there
a
CW Powerpuff Girls that's supposed to be coming out?
Yes, it's real.
Yeah.
It's real. Sorry.
Sadly, folks, I do have to take off.
So I was just gonna say, TW, my main man, my main squeeze right there. Where can the conversation keep going?
If y'all want to continue the conversation, I know the what's we're looking for things in the way, but you can find me on Instagram, Twitter, and Reddit at TWMcKay34, and I'll put that in the chat real quick before. Or if there it is. I guess TWMcKay34, Instagram, Twitter, and Reddit. If you guys want to continue the conversation somewhere there.
All right.
Have yourselves a good night, folks.
Thank you for joining. Thank you for joining. But yeah, the DC brand, I think it needs an overall in the sense that with the Flash, and then with the Batman success, do you guys think the Batman, by the way, is on HBO Max now? That was a super quick turnaround.
45 days.
Couldn't even believe it. And that's going to be the new standard. Do you think that DC is on the right path, and that's kind of where we're going to wrap up for the day? But and by the way, rest in peace to Gilbert Gottfried.
Oh yeah.
Damn,
dude.
I haven't done a show since he passed, and I was just listening to his podcast with Joe Rogan, and then I heard, and I was like, damn, man, really? Like Gilbert sucks, but rest in peace.
For me, I mean, they've been on the up and up recently. They've been even doing their underrated characters, and a lot of people have been enjoying their underrated characters too, like Peacemaker, Doom Patrol. We're getting a Blue Beetle movie, Wonder Twins movie, Black Adam's coming. So I know a lot of people's problem with DC. Yeah, like I know a lot of people have had issues with DC only doing Batman and Superman, but recently I've been trying to tell people, hey, they've been doing their underrated characters. Peacemaker is definitely, no one knew who that guy was. Nobody knows who Stargirl is. People still talk about Doom Patrol. Doom Patrol is pretty underrated by a lot of people.
Yeah, I think the second season was definitely worse than the first season.
Now, Titans are another story. We don't that's not a show.
I actually like that. You know what? I'm not afraid to admit it. I understand why people don't like it. I do.
Mm-hmm.
But I enjoy Titans. I know. But I know, but I get it. I really do. I get why you do. Why
Here's
people
the same
don't.
here. I like the Flash, and I understand why people don't like it. But
Right, dude.
get
I
you,
was
man.
a Flash fan till season
7.
I hopped off
Yeah.
at season 5.
Yeah.
I was a fan. I was a
Right
fan
af-
of. I
right
was a
after
fan of the Flash.
Crisis.
I was
Really?
a fan of the Flash
Yeah.
until season 3. I
Season
think.
6 and 7 is when it got really bad. I'm not. It's actually unwatchable.
Yeah.
I did
Crisis.
see
Crisis
last
and then
thing-
Arrow ending were
Yeah.
what threw me out.
I
But
honestly
even,
didn't even watch Superman and Lois.
the-
I bounced
I-
out after
even
like the
Superman-
11th or 12th episode.
Wait,
yeah.
what?
I don't watch Superman and Lois. I bounced out after the
Oh,
11th or 12th
man.
episode.
Did you watch Stargirl?
The first season, I haven't seen any of the second season. I don't really try and support anything Jeff
Dude,
Johns
the
does.
second
Oh.
season was great. Like it was
Really?
dark, kind of.
I thought it was a bit worse than the first season because it drags. Really?
No,
The first
no,
season is
it
so much
was
better,
dark.
dude. That first season is like that makes me orgasm on the fucking ground when
The
I
first,
watched it.
the first season, first episode intro was so dope when they're riding in, when the original, oh God, I can't
Justice
remember the
Society?
name. Yeah.
The JSA.
I literally
JSA are
just had
fighting.
the worst. When the original JSA is riding in with Joel McHale and like, dude, that whole, you know what? I'm gonna take the L on this one and get my ads taken away. But we gotta watch that. That intro to that whole scene was amazing. No, I can't do it. I can't watch it.
But yeah, for me, but yeah, like really, Superman and Lois is a really good show, and really, I didn't know about this until like you can actually look it up, but it's actually produced by one of the producers who did Man of Steel. So yeah.
Also, the Suicide Squad came out. I love the Suicide Squad. I thought that was pretty good.
Man, that's small.
The Batman, I love that. I mean, for me, they've been doing a pretty good job recently. But
Here's an interesting take for you.
Hi.
As much as I despise the character of Peacemaker, I actually think there's a more coherent season there for the first season of Peacemaker than there was for the third season of Titans.
I'm sorry. Can you? I dropped something. Can you? No. Can you repeat that?
Yeah. I'm not a huge fan of the Suicide Squad, the movie, partially and mostly because of Peacemaker. But I do think even with the Peacemaker show, I wasn't even too big of a fan of that. I will say though that it had a better executed, more well-written, coherent story for its first season than Titans did for season 3.
Word. Okay. Yeah. I respect that. See, I don't mind disagreeing, but I respect your, because you coherently explain, you know, so what didn't you like about the Suicide Squad and Peacemaker? Is it the tone?
It's largely the dick and fart humor from the character.
Her.
That really doesn't really do it for me. I mean, John Cena's cool. Yeah. I remember watching him as a kid, wrestling and whatnot, wrestling with my grandfather, but like, I don't know, just that the whole jingoistic nonsense that that character's about. I did appreciate him calling himself out as a giant piece of shit for killing Rick Flag, and I think it was like the 3rd or 4th episode. I appreciated that, but I just think overall, on the whole, it wasn't my bag.
You could leave it, you could leave it.
Yeah, because like for me, I think when it comes to the Batman, I think it's kind of like an average movie. Like it wasn't really groundbreaking as everyone claims it to be, and this is coming from someone that is a Matt Reeves fan. It just really wasn't that groundbreaking for me.
I thought it was great, but it wasn't.
But I will say this: a highlight is Catwoman's story. I did love that. But in terms of, when it comes to the Suicide Squad and Peacemaker, I gotta say I really didn't like James Gunn's Suicide Squad at all. Like to me, it really wasn't for me. It wasn't for me. Period. So when Peacemaker came out, I was like, you know what? I'm not gonna watch it because, like, to me, a lot of people are gonna say, "Oh man, you should watch it." But the thing is, like, for me, is I don't like to hate watch. Like, I don't go into something expecting to hate on it. Like, I didn't expect to hate on James Gunn's Suicide Squad, but I hated it. So when Peacemaker came out, I was like, you know what? I'm looking at the trailers, and it's not. It's just not for me.
You know how
made
people
by
like
the same person. You're just not. You're not gonna like it. So
you know how everyone loves the intro.
Yeah,
I skip it every time.
The intro that was with me. That was with me, and then it just grew on me over time. I just like
I liked the show. I did not like the intro. I thought the intro was so stupid.
Same thing with me is like I also feel this. I don't like Snyder's movies, but if you like them, that's cool. But if you ask me my opinion on them, I'll tell you my opinion on them. But I'm not gonna dislike you or tell you you're a piece of shit for not liking them. I'm not that kind of.
No, it's funny.
Person.
I got to see the Suicide Squad.
I'm gonna have to have you guys on more because you do disagree with me, and
I don't like you. We have drama. I'm gonna make 20 videos about you right now.
It's funny because
but I like when I like. Listen, I like to disagree with people because if we just sit around and circle jerk, what's the fun? What's the fun?
Well, the thing here is some people. I don't go on too much of a rant. Some people, when they say they don't like something, they don't know why they don't like it. They just say like a surface level opinion. If you're gonna tell me now that's only if you're like a casual. If you're a casual and you don't like it, that's
like
fine.
the Martha scene, right?
Yeah,
someone will be like, "It did."
But if you're trying to review something and give your legitimate opinion, and all of your points are just surface level, then I can't take you seriously.
There's no point in being a fucking cheerleader if you're not being honest.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You know, when it came to the Suicide Squad, I saw the movie a week before it debuted for free. I was the first one to walk out of the theater. I had a couple people hit me up as soon as I made my thought of it known. I put out a tweet. I was like, I have watched the Suicide Squad and it is definitely a movie. And I caught some flack for it. I got some people messaging me, and I was like, I'm not saying a word till the movie comes out next week.
Did you go to the screening that I went to?
The 1 week ahead one?
Yeah. The 1 week. Yes. So Austin and I went to I went to the Boston one. He went to this is when Austin was on the channel.
Right.
But
so can I get Vegas,
right?
Yeah, he went to the Vegas one. I went to the Boston one. And dude, something about the atmosphere of being back in a packed theater.
It's so good. Yeah.
Felt so good, and like people were laughing and cheering.
Did you have it with No Way Home?
What?
Did you have it with No Way Home? I thought with No Way Home it was so.
Oh, with No Way Home, that was organic. Like
this, you had the Andrew and Toby come out, the whole crowd just went insane. I was just such a blast one of the MCU movies, man.
Just to be, but yeah, that one was completely different because like I had tears in my eyes for that. Like in No Way Home, from that moment on, I had a tear in my eye the whole movie. With Suicide Squad, it was different because on the ride home, I go, I don't know if I liked the movie or I just liked the environment that I was in, because people were having a great time and laughing, and it was a good, it was an entertaining movie. It got you through the 2 hours or whatever it was. I couldn't tell if I loved the movie or if I just loved being back in that, having that feeling of a packed.
For me, theater. It was like I had seen and read Suicide Squad material anyway. Not a lot. I'm not saying a huge guy. I read more like New 52 stuff, and I watched the Suicide Squad animated movies. And I was like, the first one with David Ayer, which kind of isn't his movie. It's kind of one of those cut up, chopped up piece of shit movie they put out for everyone. I just didn't like that movie. I thought this is far from what the Suicide Squad should be. And I thought the James Gunn version of the Suicide Squad was more akin to what I like about them, because I don't know if a Suicide Squad should have one person or two people dying and calling that a Suicide Squad, because as a viewer, movies like that should have stakes in them. Because the thing with the Suicide Squad is that they're supposed to be a team that is, you can have the idea that anyone could die. And if a movie doesn't really show you that, then there's no like stakes in it. Everything is going to feel safe. And I don't like that with a movie like
ironic?
that.
I have the entire John Ostrander run in trade paperback form, and a large portion of the first volume, not too many characters in the Suicide Squad actually bite the bullet. It's really only one or two.
Yep, and really, yeah, and really, like, that's really kind of like why I at first really didn't like the first act, the first act of James Gunn's Suicide Squad, because
the first 5
to
minutes
me
where
it's
he literally
like
kills a good majority of the Suicide Squad.
Yeah, because like to me, when I was looking at this cast, like when the cast first came up and it was showing all these names, and I was just looking at I actually did like facepalm and said, okay, let's see who are the big names in this cast. So I see, and I saw Idris Elba. I was like, okay, he's gonna live. I see John Cena, he's gonna live. And it was like, to me, it was really more like, okay, a lot of people are gonna die, and there's gonna be a big joke about how a bunch of the Suicide Squad being very killable and stuff like that. And to me, like, you can go for that kind of to achieve humor. Like, humor is obviously subjective, but like, to me, I really just don't like cannon fodder for cannon fodder.
Yeah.
But like, the thing here is other movies did the same thing. Movies like Kick-Ass, Deadpool 2, they'll do the exact same tone of humor, but I don't get why that's okay. But if this movie does it, it's not.
See, I like your style. See, I like that because you're downright, and I think it's because it's DC and people take it super seriously.
Like, what's the difference between Kick-Ass's humor and the Suicide Squad? It's the same thing.
Here's the thing. I didn't like Kick-Ass. Like, I didn't like Kick-Ass, and I don't.
You didn't like Kick-Ass?
Well, clearly you just don't like those.
Yeah, I don't. I really don't.
Yeah.
Oh, you don't like that kind of style of movie, is what you're saying.
Yeah, like for me, Deadpool, it works because Deadpool at the end of the day is a joke character. But the thing is, for me, when it came to Kick-Ass, it was like, really, you're doing this? Like, I haven't read the comic.
I see where you're going with it.
But the thing is, like, for me, when it comes to like comedy, it has to make sense. And to me, it was like, it kind of did. Like, to me, comedy, like, I like my comedy to be, like, for me, I like my comedy to be clever. I'm just gonna leave it at that. Like, I don't like my comedy to be very slapstick. Like, you can have a slapstick moment, but if the entire movie is like a slapstick comedy, then that's not for me.
Okay.
I think for me, when it comes to the Suicide Squad, there are things in it I can appreciate from a filmmaking perspective, like the fight between Rick Flag and Peacemaker seen through the helmet.
Oh yeah,
I think that's a really great shot.
That was great.
Starro looked fun. I mean, Starro looked fantastic.
Starro looked great.
There's no getting around that. But what really bugged me, and this bugged me in Civil War too, was like the big, like the big pointed names of like the scenery changes of, like, you know, the scene transitions, and they just have like either big thought bubbles or just big words. I don't really like that. I didn't like it in Civil War, and I didn't like it in the Suicide Squad.
Civil War did it, and then I feel like everyone started doing it.
Yeah,
it was weird. Like,
you know what people start doing now? Shallow depth of field more. I've noticed that a lot now. Shallow depth of field is when you zoom in on something when something else is blurring the back. Like what Zack Snyder did in
point of view focus, but
yeah. So
it happens a lot in Batman.
It does. Batman does a lot of shallow depth of field in that movie.
It does it quite a bit in Batman. Like, when you see Batman walking through the hallway and you see all the cops, you see it's very focused on Batman, but everything and everyone else around him is very out of focus.
Yeah. Yeah, you're right. That is happening a lot. All right, boys, we're probably gonna wrap it up. Oh man, what a pleasure it was. You guys are awesome.
I hate every single one of you.
Likewise. No. I'll definitely talk to more of you about coming on, because I could keep going, but I do have to work in the morning. So, Phil, where can everyone find you?
Well, you can find me on Twitter, Vero, and Instagram, just right there at Unfiltered. You can catch me on the Four Nerds Network, mostly every Thursdays. You can listen to my podcasts, Superhero Stress, as well as The Eternal Night on Podbean or Apple Podcasts, wherever you can listen to your podcasts. My friend Chris and I just did kind of a marvelous episode regarding Thor, Love, and Thunder, Doctor Strange, as well as Moon Knight, recapping the first 3 episodes as kind of a ramp up to the 4th episode. Yeah, that's pretty much it. You can also catch me on the ACS Universe every Fridays, most of the time too.
Awesome. And we'll have you back on as many times as you want. All right, Jeffrey.
You can find me on Twitter at JWarfield2. Really, you can also follow me on my. You can also find me on my YouTube channel, which I haven't been all that active on, mainly because I'm writing scripts now and just stuff like that.
Oh,
but
really,
but yeah, like you can find me on my YouTube channel at Jeffrey Warfield Jr., where my last video I kind of did a very interesting one where I talked about how we really don't have villains anymore. We really have good characters, but we have good villains. And at first, I know that's a very clickbaity title about saying like, man, all these villains are trash. But to me, it really isn't. But I think it's really a very interesting video that you guys should check out.
Yeah.
But yeah, you can. So yeah, you can follow me on J Warfield 2. So.
J Warfield 2. And then my boy Nightwing, who is a piece of trash.
Nightwing, yeah, but how? Hey, it's very. If you notice the trend, just like in Dragon Ball Z, where they make Vegeta's arm always taken out, Nightwing loses his arm in a lot of those movies. He just loses his arm because they just cuck him for random reason. Twitter handle, that's my Twitter handle right there. I'll just share my screen. If you can share my screen, this is just who I am. If anyone wants to subscribe, go and do it, please. Greatly appreciated. That is my channel right there. We just passed our 100th episode for my Nightwing podcast. We do watch parties. The MSK show is Saturday, 7:00. I upload every single day. But the only day off I really take off is essentially Thursday. So when I'll do like pre-recorded content is my Thursday when I do it. But yeah, there's live streams 6 days a week, content 7 days a week. And yeah, I work 5 days a week. So it's a lot to do. Generally, when you work, stream, make videos, go to movie premieres.
That's what I'm saying. So that's what I'm trying to juggle with and find. Now that I do the show alone, it's
that's life.
That's life.
That's life.
Hey man, if you ever need a person to come on, just hit me up, man. Just whenever I'm free, I can come on. I can. You want to come on for Saturday?
So Saturday I work 10 to 6 Eastern. So if it's after that, then yeah.
So you're off at 4:00 my time, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm live at 7. Is that okay?
Yeah.
Okay.
Let's do it. All right.
Phillip, he might be allowed to come on. Jeff, you guys might be allowed to come on. I don't know if I want. You guys might be controversial. You might get me canceled.
Hey, it's 2022. Everything is controversial.
Yeah, right. You're right.
Phillip is so controversial. Phillip, why are you so controversial, man? Why are you causing all this drama?
You're not wrong.
I don't know. Just the right people off, I guess. I don't know.
No, but thank you, boys, for coming on. It was a fun round table, and we'll see you all next time. As always, the round tables that we're starting, so those will be on Wednesday. Assemble a panel, and then Sundays will be the interview again. This Sunday is with director Tom Patton, and then I'm in talks. I got 3 or 4 people lined up for the next couple Sundays, so it's going to be a fun ride. Thank you all for tuning in. This has been the Pop Culture Corner.